Hi, welcome back from spring break. This may feel kind of weird for you, but understand that it feels even stranger for me. Um, I feel like a freshman all over again, except I'm a teacher. This feels kind of like that first week of the very first semester I taught when I had to walk around campus holding my schedule with me so I could remember what room to go to and which class I had next. So, uh, I hope that you had a little bit of downtime over the spring break, that you got to maybe do some fun things, see some family, uh, get outside a little bit. But now we're back, and it's time for us to get back to work. So I'm learning how to use some new tools. And before we really get into the content, I wanted to just touch base with you again and give you an idea what the rest of the semester might look like. So, welcome back to the new normal at Anderson University. So, first things first, one of the things that I think we all need to remember is that we need to practice infinite flexibility. I have a plan and I'm going to share with you what that plan is, but it's very likely that plan might change. As our needs change, as I see what kinds of assistance you need or what things you're struggling with, also as I discover what's working really well for both of us, we may have to make some adjustments. So I will make communication a priority, although I will try not to overwhelm you with announcements or email messages. What you can count on is that I will make adjustments as we go to try to make things better each week. I think we also need to make sure that we're practicing grace and patience, both with ourselves and with one another. If we make a mistake, if something doesn't work right, then we just need to own and acknowledge that, have a good sense of humor, and go forward. And we'll probably be able to figure out the solution to just about any problem we have. It just might take a little time. So patience will be helpful too. I would encourage you to enter each week with expectancy as opposed to discouragement or disappointment. There are still many wonderful things that we can all experience this semester, and there's still a lot of great stuff for you to learn. It's just that the means by which we're all going to learn that and accomplish the work that needs to get done that's going to be different. So let's try to have expectancy about the future. And that goes for every one of my students, whether you are a freshman or a senior. There's space in this experience for a lot of good things and expectancy and positive surprises. I also think we need to be intentional about carrying hope with us. There are a lot of people in the world who are very discouraged and fearful right now. Some people are losing their jobs. Some students are having to move away from campus when they were excited about being here for the full school year. Some people are separated from family members. I know that any of those things could be your reality. So I think it's important that we carry hope with us and maybe think of it as a shiny, bright marble that we can carry around in our pockets. And anytime we start to feel discouraged or fearful, we can reach for that hope and just hold it in our hands. What I'm planning to do for our weekly class sessions is try to make this experience as easy for you to manage as possible. I understand that some of you who might have had jobs on campus or in Anderson might have had to give those jobs up because you're moving back home. Therefore, you may be securing different employment for the next few weeks, and that may change your daily schedule. So I will limit the number of video conferences that require us all to be online together at the same time. I do plan for us to do a few of those because I think it's a valuable part of our learning experience and a good way for us to stay connected, but I will really limit those. Most of the things that you will need to do online are things that will have a pretty wide window of time where you'll have several hours or several days to be able to accomplish a particular task. I will use the discussion tool in Canvas every week because that is a good way for you to still be engaged with one another and with me in some conversation about the things that we're reading. And also a good way to facilitate peer response so that we can still do some of that with your creative work. All of the written assignments, things like essays, weekly quizzes, homework assignments, tests, all those things. I'll have you submit those to Canvas as Google Docs using the same mechanisms I already had in place for Canvas. So that shouldn't be anything new. That should feel real familiar. I will still be working hard to grade things quickly and get response to you. So if you submit a document as a Word document to Canvas, then make sure that you check the feedback in Canvas. If you submit things as Google Docs, then I will respond to those in the margins as I always have. And I will rely heavily on email for communication with you. If it's personal communication with you one-on-one, I think that is probably the best way for us to handle questions you might have or anything that I need to discuss with you individually. So check your email account daily so that you can see if I've responded to something you might have asked. You also need to pay attention to Canvas announcements, because any general information that I would have been sharing with you in class, I will send out through the announcements function in Canvas. So just make sure you take a look at that daily. You can probably have that set to be forwarded to your phone so that you'll see those announcements pop up as they come through. Again, I will try to limit those to no more than one a day, and probably won't even be sending that many, because I know that you're going to be getting a lot of online communication from all of your professors, and we really don't want to overwhelm you. Our goal is to ease your anxieties and help to facilitate this experience, not to create so much noise, virtual noise, that you can't function. As I said right before spring break, I think the motto we can adopt for right now is to keep calm and care on. So take good care of yourselves. Take care of the people in your life. It feels really good to be of service to other people. That's something we can control. So as you have opportunities to do so safely, I would encourage you to be helpful to perhaps older neighbors or older relatives, who might need someone to run to the drugstore or the grocery store for them, or as we move into spring and there's yard work that needs to be done, just be helpful to the people around you, to your parents, your grandparents, friends, neighbors. Also, ask me for help if you're struggling with anything. Don't hesitate to say, I'm really lost. I am really having trouble understanding something. I can't get this tool to work. Together, as I said, we can probably find a solution to just about every problem, but I can't assist or encourage you if I don't know what your struggles are. But also feel free to voice words of encouragement to your peers, to tell me what you're enjoying, what is working well, what you appreciate. That way I can make this experience as positive as possible. Go outside. The weather is pretty volatile right now, but it's going to improve. That's the one thing I do know for sure, is that we're headed into spring. So that means each week we're probably going to have more days that are sunny, more days that have warmer temperatures. So go outside and walk around the block so that you can breathe some fresh air and not feel claustrophobic. Also, avoid really long marathon computer sessions. It's really not good for your body or your mind to be in front of your computer for hours on end. And you already know that, but the nice thing about face-to-face instruction is that we kind of force you to take breaks from your laptops and your screens. You'll have to monitor that yourself a little more now. And so I would encourage you every hour or so just to disconnect, walk away from your computer, stand up, go drink a big glass of cold water. Do those kinds of things that will allow you to not be too mentally fatigued by all of this. And we need to focus on what's good. I'm going to continue doing the gratitude journal with all of you. I don't know exactly what format I'll use and what that will look like, but I am going to invite you to participate in that in an ongoing way. I think it's important when we're face-to-face, and I think it'll be just as important when our classroom is online. I would also encourage you to stay in touch with your friends. You may be separated geographically or through self-isolation from your closest campus friends, but we have all the technological tools we need right now to be able to stay connected. So use FaceTime, call, just stay in touch with one another. And after you've done the necessary grieving of the things you've lost through this decision to switch to a fully online, both instruction and operational mode at Anderson University, I would encourage you to identify a few very specific things that you can still enjoy about the second half of this semester. There are a lot of wonderful things to experience, things that maybe you wouldn't have been able to experience if we had had our normal routines. So grieve first, face those feelings of loss, then let those things go and look for the good in what we have left. I miss all of you. I am looking forward to seeing all of you again in the fall if you are not graduating. And if you are graduating, I hope that maybe later in the summer, when a lot of the social distancing periods have expired and we're able to have larger gathering again, so that we can find a way to spend some time together face to face. So for now, welcome back. It's good to be with all of you again, and I will talk to you again soon.